Today we are gonna talk about quantifiers. So first of all, I want you to take notes in your copybooks. You can stop at any time, you can stop the recording and make notes in your copybooks. Okay, let's get started. So, much, many, lots of, or a lot of, a few, a little. There are quantifiers. We use them before a noun to express amount or a quantity of something. Okay? So, at first I want to separate these quantifiers into two groups. The first group, which expresses large quantities. There are much, many, lots of, or a lot of. It's the first group which expresses large quantities. Первая группа, которая выражает большие количества. Okay, let's have a look at much. For example, there isn't much time. Much is used with uncountable nouns in interrogative and negative sentences. What are uncountable nouns? There are nouns which we can't count. For example, time, sand, love or happiness, sugar, milk. There are uncountable nouns, right? Okay. What about many? Many. For example, there are many books on the table. Many is used with plural countable nouns in interrogative and negative sentences. Countable nouns are nouns which we can count. For example, a book, one book, two books, three books, one orange, two oranges, and so on. Okay, and what about lots of or a lot of? For example, there are a lot of mistakes. There are a lot of mistakes. Is used with uncountable and plural countable nouns in affirmative sentences. Lots of or a lot of is used with uncountable and plural countable nouns in affirmative sentences. So, these are large quantities. So, and the second group, which expresses small quantities. There are a few and a little. So, for example, there are a few markers in the box. A few is used with plural countable nouns in affirmative sentences. There are a few markers in the box. Markers we can count. It's an countable noun, right? So that's why we use a few with plural countable nouns in affirmative sentences. But pay attention, please. A few is different from few. A few means not many, but enough. And few means not enough. Let's look at the example. There are few markers in the box. Few markers. Not enough. It's negative meaning. And there are a few markers in the box. A few means not many but enough. It's positive meaning. Okay? And the last, a little. For example, there is a little milk in the glass. A little is used with uncountable nouns in affirmative sentences. Uncountable nouns are nouns which we can't count. There is a little milk in the glass. Milk is uncountable noun. Okay, but remember, a little is different from little. A little means not many, but enough. And little means not enough. For example, I have a little time left to talk to you. Not many, but enough. It's positive meaning. She has little time to catch the bus. It's not enough, and it's a negative meaning. It has a negative meaning. Practice time. I want to help you to fill me the blanks with quantifiers. Let's get started. The first sentence. There is blank sand in the beach. So, which quantifiers we're going to use there? Sand. Is this countable or uncountable? Sand is uncountable, right? So we can say there is much sand. Many. Can we use this one? No, because it's for countable nouns, right? We can also say a lot of sand in the beach. Let's use these quantifiers. There is a lot of sand in the beach. So the second sentence, there is blank sugar in this coffee. So, what do you think? Sugar, is it countable or uncountable? It's uncountable, right? So, we can also say there is much sugar. We can also use there is a lot of sugar and a little sugar in this coffee. So, let's write down there is little sugar in this coffee. We can also say little or a little too. Okay, the next sentence. There are mistakes in your homework. What do you think? Mistakes, is it countable or uncountable? It's countable, right? There are many mistakes or a few mistakes in your homework. And we can also use a lot of mistakes because it's for countable and uncountable. Let's use a few. There are a few mistakes in your homework. Okay, the next sentence. There isn't salt in this sauce. The reason salt is countable or uncountable? It's uncountable, right? So we can say there isn't much salt in this sauce, or we can also say there isn't a lot of salt in this sauce. So let's write much. Write down, please. There isn't much salt in this sauce. And the last one. There are blank viewers watching YouTube videos. So, viewers, is it countable or uncountable? Viewers is countable noun, right? So, we can say there are many viewers and a few or a lot of viewers watching YouTube videos. Let's say many. There are many viewers watching YouTube videos. Okay, I hope that everything is clear now. Nouns in English can be divided into two groups. The first one is countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns are nouns that we can count. For example, tree. We can count trees. 1 tree, 2 trees, 3 trees. And uncountable nouns are nouns that we cannot count. For example, we cannot count rain. 1 rain, 2 rains, no, it is not possible. With countable nouns, we can use "an" or a number before the noun. A pencil or 10 pencils. We can use "an" or a number before the noun. With uncountable nouns, we cannot use "an" or a number. For example, we cannot say "a rice, 2 rice", no. We just say rice without "a" or a number before the noun. With countable nouns, we use a singular or a plural verb. For example, the book is old. Book is a singular noun, so we need a singular verb. The book is old. The books are old. Books is a plural noun, so we need a plural verb. The books are old. With uncountable nouns, we always use only singular verb. For example, sugar is sweet. Sugar is uncountable, so we must need a singular verb. Sugar is sweet. The weather here is great. Again, the weather is uncountable. We cannot count weather, so in this case we must need a singular verb. The weather here is great. So, what nouns are normally uncountable? Let's have a look. Abstract ideas. There are abstract nouns which don't have physical existence. For example, love. We cannot touch it. It's uncountable. Some examples of uncountable nouns are love, freedom, music, education, health, etc. Liquids are normally uncountable. For example, milk, we cannot count it, right? Milk, tea, water, juice, etc. There are uncountable nouns. But 2 bottles of milk. Bottles, we can count the bottles, right? That's why we use a number of before the noun. 2 bottles of milk. Okay, the next uncountable noun is food. For example, sugar, rice, salt, and meat. There are uncountable nouns. We cannot count it. Materials. For example, nouns that say what something is made of are normally uncountable. For example, gold, glass, ice, paper. cannot count it, right? Okay, write down please all these words in your copybooks, please. As I told you, liquids and food are normally uncountable. But be careful, please. Bread is uncountable. But slices of bread, we can count slices, but not bread. And the same with loaves of bread. Loaves means булки хлеба. Loaves of bread. But we cannot say breads. It is not possible. And be careful, please, with the following uncountable nouns, which consider to be countable in other languages. Будьте внимательны со следующими неисчисляемыми существительными, которые могут быть исчисляемыми в других языках. Например, furniture, advice, work, news, information, luggage, and money. Money is uncountable noun. We cannot say, I have 5 monies. I can say, I have 5 coins of money, but no monies. So we have covered a lot in this lesson, and write down your homework, please. In your grammar book, on page number 115 and page number 118, read the grammar rules about quantifiers and uncountable and countable nouns. On page number 116, exercise number 3, and the second task, page number 119, exercise number 3 and 4. And don't remember that the deadline will be on the 5th of April. Okay, so I wish you good luck and see you next time.